today's coaster review is a special one. It's El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. And what an incredible wooden coaster this is. Intamin did a fantastic job with it. I will always argue that this is the best roller coaster in the world, and while that's a bit of an unpopular opinion, a lot of people do agree that it's the world's best wooden coaster. It may not have crazy laterals or inversions, but it's a phenomenal coaster. I got the chance to ride this in 2019, and I actually rode it 19 times over my 2 days at the park, so I definitely have a great feel for how it rides and what it's like. And before we get into the stats, you should know that El Toro is a prefabricated wooden coaster, meaning that all the track is machine cut, drilled, and sanded with laser precision off-site, which allows for the track to piece together like a Lego set, leading to a very smooth ride experience. It also allows for extreme positive and negative G-force, which is pretty uncommon for wooden coasters. So let's get into the stats. And right off the bat, here's something impressive. It has a height of 181 feet and a drop of 176 feet. That is huge for a wooden coaster. In fact, El Toro is the second tallest wooden coaster in the world, just 8 feet short of the tallest. But getting back to that main drop, it has an angle of descent of 76 degrees, and that's an amazing drop. El Toro actually has a cable lift hill, which is not only very rare on a wooden coaster, but it also means that you climb up that hill fast. So think of Intimidator 305's lift hill, except on a wooden coaster. After you pop off the lift hill, you head into a large unbanked 180-degree left-hand turnaround. It really does a great job setting you up for the drop until BAM! You are falling for what feels like a good 3 or 4 seconds, and you really get violently flung over if you're in the back seat, or heck, even the middle rows give tons of sustained ejector airtime. And El Toro features an 18-row train, so you can just imagine the whip you experience near the back. For 2 years, it was the steepest drop on a wooden coaster too. So at the bottom of that first drop is where you hit your max speed of 70 miles per hour, which made El Toro the fastest wooden coaster in the world up until 2018. And you really do keep that speed throughout the whole ride. At least on the day I went, El Toro didn't slow down for even a second of the way. This thing straight hauls, and it really knows how to bring the intensity. I do believe this is one of its biggest pros. If you've been following my channel for a while, you probably know that I am a sucker for intensity, and man, El Toro knocks it out of the park in this category. It's known for its crazy negative Gs, but it definitely pulls some very intense positives as well. And the valleys in the first half of El Toro are extremely tight. Oddly tight for a wooden coaster. While most wooden coasters have more drawn out valleys to prevent excessive wear and tear on the track, El Toro says screw maintenance and downright sends it through every valley and hill and turn on the entire ride. This creates a range of forces not commonly found on wooden roller coasters or even steel roller coasters for that matter. So not only are the tops of each hill intense, the valleys in between them are super intense too. It gives El Toro that out-of-control feeling, and it's awesome. You start hitting some low-to-the-ground turns and bunny hills that do a great job enhancing its speed, right up until El Toro's most famous element, the Rolling Thunder Hill. This hill is incredible, and if you're thinking it looks a bit unnatural and weird, you're absolutely correct. When El Toro was constructed, another classic wooden roller coaster, Rolling Thunder, stood in between El Toro and King de Ka. This airtime hill served the purpose of jumping over Rolling Thunder, hence its name. However, Rolling Thunder was soon torn down due to low ridership, and it had simply reached the end of its service life. And all that's left of it now is a piece of track under El Toro's hill, to show gratitude for Rolling Thunder. It really is quite cool. However, Rolling Thunder's demolition kind of messed up El Toro's finale. Its finale was originally surrounded by Rolling Thunder's supports, so you couldn't see what was there until you ride El Toro. But since Rolling Thunder was torn down, El Toro's finale is pretty visible, but that doesn't take away from the experience at all. These last turns are extremely forceful and snappy, and they pack a very unexpected punch. If you'd like to see me talk about this section more in depth, then make sure you go check out my top 5 most underrated elements video, link in the description. Anyway, after these intense turns, the train pops into a few slight hills and straight into the brakes. Now, my main critique is that this is a bit of a short ride. It has 4,400 feet of track, but you fly through it in no time. This could just mean that El Toro's pacing is just that good. So you can think of it as a pro or a con. And even if it's pretty short, it's not to worry because this thing is a complete walk-on every time. I was surprised that a coaster as great as this had no line whatsoever, especially since Great Adventure is a big park. But either it's because all the GP are in line for King de Ka or El Toro is just too intense, it doesn't really matter because you can just lap this thing over and over and over. It might be hard to marathon simply because it's just too much, but as a person who craves this kind of intensity and airtime, it wasn't an issue at all. Theming is a bit minimal on El Toro, but I don't even think that matters. Actually, for Six Flags, it's not half bad. They give it a Spanish theme and put the ride in the Plaza del Carnaval section of Great Adventure. They put a statue of a bull in front of the entrance, and you won't really see any theming during the actual ride, but that doesn't take away from the experience at all. Now you gotta remember, this is Six Flags, not Universal or Disney, so there isn't any on-ride theming, but personally, I don't think that takes away from the experience at all. It's not gonna be something on the level of Star Wars Galaxy Edge or anything, but you definitely feel that Spanish vibe they were going for. And the last thing I'd like to mention is it's definitely not buttery smooth like everyone says it is. El Toro has some shaky moments, like the turnaround or the finale. And they don't really shake like a traditional Woody does. It almost shakes like an old Aero coaster might. It's kinda hard to describe, but just know it's not going to be glass smooth. I actually think Ghost Rider provides a smoother ride than El Toro, but it isn't really an issue. It doesn't cause headaches, it's not painful, but for real, no knock on the ride at all. It's just something I noticed. So it's time to give El Toro a final score, and I'm gonna give it a 10. This roller coaster is one of the best you'll ever get the chance to experience. It absolutely earned its spot as my number 1. It has extreme intensity, stupidly strong airtime, incredible pacing. There's just not much more I could want in a coaster. El Toro knocks every category out of the park. So that's it for this video. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy roller coaster content like this, then make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post a video. Comment down below, was I fanboying too hard or was this legitimately unbiased? Make sure you drop a like on this video and I'll see you all next time.